Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. Bloomington hosted a town hall meeting Thursday about incorporating parts of the town, what residents are saying coming up. The FDA approves a new vaccine in the U.S., what the Center for Disease Control is recommending for vaccination. Plus, what the TCA is expecting for this year upcoming Labor Day travel weekends.
And we are officially saying goodbye to the heat, and we are saying hello to the rain. We got lots of daily rain chances coming our way, and we already have rain out there this morning. We'll take a look at that in the weather coming up.
Today we reveal our athlete of the week, and we're going to find out who that is coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning. I am Amaya Norman.
And I'm Parker Cox. Today is Friday. Woohoo! We made it to the end of another week, y'all. It is August 23rd, and the time is 6:01 on your Friday morning. And what a great weekend it's going to be, Amaya.
Yes, it is.
We've got clouds returning. We've got temperatures dropping. And what else is coming our way?
Cool and rain.
Rain. We've got some rain. We actually got some rain out there right now this morning because looking at your radar, we actually got a couple thunderstorms as well because turning on that lightning, you can see there's actually one decent sized little thunderstorm right now passing through Palacios right now as we speak, heading west very, very slowly, heading towards northern Lavaca Bay, also north of Port Lavaca as well this morning. And I'm actually going to zoom in on where all the rain is so you can see what I'm talking about. You can see we do have a little line of showers kind of developing out there to our east, starting to head into Wharton County here probably the next 20 to 25 minutes or so. It's heading really slowly west. That's why I'm saying like 20 to 25, maybe even 30 minutes or so. But zooming south where all the heavier stuff is, that one big storm in Palacios, look at that big old thing right there coming west. Good news is no severe weather. No severe weather is expected out there this morning. If anything at all, definitely lots of lightning activity. I can prove it right here. Look at all the lightning that is occurring with that storm right there in Palacios. This is looking east, southeast towards Palacios, but still plenty warm and humid out there. If you don't see that rain, 80 degrees right now, dew point 78, 2 degrees off. But coming away today, we're done with the heat. No more heat advisories in the area. High pressure is moving away from us. Low pressure is returning. That's going to bring back the clouds and lots of rain. And we're going to take a look at that in the full forecast coming up next. Back to you, Maya.
Thank you, Parker. Bloomington Town Hall meeting had a capacity crowd Thursday night. The town hall discussed a nonprofit plan to incorporate parts of Bloomington as the Village of Bloomington. The nonprofit wanted it on the ballot this November, but the 13 courts of appeal ruled the group have not met the requirements to have the Victoria County Commissioner Court call for an election. Victoria County Judge Ben Zaylor said despite the rather aggressive move to incorporate, the plans did not mention how the newly incorporated area would start up with city service like water, fire protection, and police.
Well, one of the things that we have is the way that they have mapped the map that they submitted. It leaves the actual landowners out. So we will not have any say-so. We will not have any say-so on our taxes, our water, or anything else. From what I see, everybody out here, they're willing to fight for our little town. We're going to save Bloomington. Bloomington will be saved by its community.
While it appears at this point in time it won't make the November ballot, it could appear on one in May. A wreck involving multiple 18-wheelers closed the southbound lane of U.S. Highway 59 near the Wharton Airport Thursday morning. Authorities reported heavy debris across the roadway. The southbound lane remained closed for most of the day. By nightfall, Highway 59 opened both ways at the Wharton Airport. However, some congestion did remain on Wharton County Road linking up with Highway 59. Cocaine was found on a Valley Transit bus in the Crossroads Wednesday. Victoria and Refugio County deputies checked a passenger bus. When aboard, they found a backpack with about 5.8 kilos of cocaine in it. No one on the bus claimed the bag. The case has been turned over to federal agencies for further investigation. No arrests have been made. Updated COVID vaccines are on the way to America after the Food and Drug Administration gave its approval Thursday. The FDA approved updated Pfizer's and Moderna COVID vaccine as the virus surged this summer. Shots expected within days targeted a strain called KP.2, which accounts for roughly 3% of U.S. cases. According to the latest data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC recommends that everyone over 6 months old receives an updated COVID vaccine this year. It is back to school time, and that means summer athletic workouts for fall sports programs are starting back up. But our increasingly hot summers could put an end to this annual tradition.
It's a surefire sign of fall. Student athletes at high schools all over the nation running drills on the football field, pads and all, sweating through that late summer heat. But over the last few decades, those late summer weeks have gotten hotter and hotter. A Climate Central report found that extremely hot days have become more frequent across much of the U.S., and that is putting student athletes at risk for heat illness and even death. Looking at football alone, at least 67 student athletes have died from heat stroke since 1996, according to a report that was released last year by the National Center for Catastrophic Sport Injury Research. At the University of Connecticut's Corey Stringer Institute, named for the late Minnesota Vikings player who died from heat stroke during training camp in 2001, Dr. Rebecca Stearns and her team are working to reduce heat-related dangers for athletes and laborers.
So with warming temperatures, we definitely know that the risk and the number of heat illnesses is going to be reflected or go up, especially in the fall season, because we have athletes returning to sport in the hottest months of the year. There's a greater number of days above 90 and these really extreme heat days, then we know we're going to see greater cases of heat illness too.
But schools and teams can do their own work to reduce the risk of heat-related illness. Stern says that modifying practice depending on how hot it is, with changes like making them shorter and less intense, can reduce preseason heat illness by as much as 79%. Another simple step? Let the body get used to the heat. It will adapt.
Heat acclimatization, WBGT, or weather-based modifications are really impactful. Having a cold water immersion tub on site. These are a lot of the best practices for addressing heat illness. A lot of states do have these as policies, and a lot of schools are independently proactive.
There are many symptoms and warning signs of heat stroke. It can be fatal. If your child has a body temperature of 103 degrees or higher, hot, red, dry, or damp skin, headache, confusion, or loss of consciousness, fast heart rate, and even nausea, those are things to look for. Plus, a big red flag is when they're no longer sweating. People with heat stroke need immediate medical attention. With this Climate Minute, I'm Ginger Zee.
The TCA says it is preparing for what is expected to be the busiest Labor Day travel period on record. The Transportation Security Administration expected to screen more than 17 million passengers from Thursday, August 29th through Wednesday, September 4th. The peak travel day is projected to be Friday, August 30th, with 2.86 million on the day alone. The top 10 busiest travel days of record have all occurred since May of this year. And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We want to know, do you plan on traveling for the upcoming Labor Day this weekend? 18% of you say yes, 82% of you say no. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate in our viewer poll. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is 6:08. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. A Texas State professor presented her findings about Lavaca Bay and warns about what could happen if the city dredged the channel.
The last day of the Democratic National Convention, Kamala Harris taking to the stage and addressing the country. I'm Jacqueline Lee. We'll have more coming up.
And it's another day of school out there on your Friday morning. We're going to take a look at your school bus forecast coming up next, followed by your weather and health forecast and the full forecast. And coming up later on Sunrise, we'll look at your marine forecast and everything else that's going on out there in the tropics. Well, good morning, Crossroads. If you're tuning in with us this morning, you're looking live in Victoria. And yes, usually got to throw up the Cuero camera, but look at all the lightning that is happening out there this morning with some of those thunderstorms out there. We're going to look at that radar in just a second, because if you're not seeing the rain just yet, it's another Woman Human one out there sitting at 80 degrees and dew points at 78. But looking at that radar, you can see we do have a couple showers of thunderstorms out there this morning. Only really one or really two thunderstorms out there. And this is the thunderstorm that you just saw there on the camera, because that camera was pointing east-southeast towards Palacios and Matagorda Bay. But this thunderstorm right here that is just now passing west of Palacios, if anything, it's going to have some wind gusts maybe up to 40 miles an hour, maybe. And maybe that would actually prompt a special weather statement to be issued. And also maybe some tiny pea-sized or marble-sized hail. But otherwise, no other severe weather is expected out there today. Because looking at your future radar for the rest of today, those showers that are out there right now are going to continue like that, continue moving west very slowly as we go into later this morning. Probably in Victoria County, I'm thinking around 9 a.m., but then as we go into the afternoon time, it should die off a little bit, with maybe some more spotty showers developing in the afternoon time as well. But otherwise, it's going to be pretty cloudy if you don't see the rain today, and that's going to bring our temperatures down out of the 100s. I'm thinking about 96 here in Victoria today, northwestern counties. Y'all can see maybe upper 90s for today. So if you're seeing your kiddos out the door this morning, make sure to bring them that umbrella, because it's going to be raining, I think, as we go into the afternoon today with maybe a few spotty showers. But look at our rain chances as we go into next week. Lots more rain still to come, and we're going to look at that and the tropics coming up next. But now, here's sports.
So this week's Athlete of the Week has been on a tear the past couple weeks on the volleyball court, and she's from Calhoun Sand Crabs. It's going to be Neva Rangel. And here's 25 News Now sports reporter Ray Robinson with more.
Calhoun's own Nevaeh Rangel made her presence felt in the Volleyball Cuero Classic. With leading the Sand Crabs in kills, this performance helped the Sand Crabs finish in first, a victory that she takes pride in.
My performance has been really good. I've been playing front row and back row, so we've had an attack on both ends. And I've had really an off game for myself. So it's been pretty good.
The aim for success is made possible due to the returning stars, as Rangel talks about the chemistry that has been maintained.
We have kind of like the same team as last year, so we're not really missing a whole bunch. So we're kind of already used to each other. We already have a good connection with everybody.
Speaking of aim for success, she's made it clear what her and the team's goals are.
Go past what we did last year, way past that. Probably at least we want to go to state, but it's a long shot. But if we still want to go that far.
Ray Robinson, KAVU TV 25 News Now, Sports.
Speaking of Neva and the Sand Crabs, witnessed her in action this morning at Tidehaven High School and taking on the Warden Tigers earlier. And this was one game that's going to be part of the Bay City Volleyball Tournament this weekend. So Calhoun looks to go on an impressive run this week. This is Max Williams, 25 News Now Sports.
Experience our digital streaming service Crossroads Today Plus. Stream our daily newscast and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Search Crossroads Today Plus. It was a grand final at the Democratic National Convention. Kamala Harris vowing to chart a new way forward. Harris, the first woman of color to be at the top of the major party ticket, reflecting on her career as a prosecutor and drawing a stark contrast between her and Donald Trump.
It was a historic moment and the most consequential speech of her career. Vice President Kamala Harris welcomed by thunderous applause, taking the stage to officially lead the Democratic ticket in November.
On behalf of everyone whose story could only be written in the greatest nation on earth, I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America.
Harris reintroducing herself to the American people.
My mother was a brilliant, 5-foot-tall, brown woman. She taught us to never complain about injustice, but do something about it.
Harris slamming former President Donald Trump and his attempts to overturn the 2020 election and warning what will happen if he gets another 4 years.
The United States Supreme Court just ruled that he would be immune from criminal prosecution. Just imagine Donald Trump with no guardrails.
and attacking Trump on the major issue of abortion.
He plans to create a national anti-abortion coordinator and force states to report on women's miscarriages and abortions. Simply put, they are out of their minds.
The United Center erupting in applause when she addressed the war in Gaza.
President Biden and I are working to end this war such that Israel is secure, the hostages are released, the suffering in Gaza ends.
Female delegates throughout the United Center wearing white for women's suffrage. Actors Eva Longoria, Kerry Washington, and Tony Goldwyn all making the case for Harris, with a Chicago drumline and pop superstar Pink among the performances. Harris ending the night, calling on her base to get to work.
I see a nation that is ready to move forward. Together, let us write the next great chapter in the most extraordinary story ever told.
Harris will head to Washington, D.C. later today. She will debate former President Trump in Philadelphia on September 10th on ABC. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Chicago.
An in-person event in Port Lavaca Thursday night focused on mercury in Lavaca Bay. About 100 people were at the Bauer Community Center for the event. Texas State University professor and marine toxicologist Jessica Dewan presents her report on the high mercury concentration in sediment, fish, and shellfish she sampled from Lavaca Bay.
We know that there's mercury in Lavaca Bay. It's in the sediment. And so if this sediment is churned up with this dredge, it would release the mercury, it would resuspend it, and then potentially move it throughout the whole bay system.
A proposed dredging project to widen and deepen the Matagorda ship channel could release mercury back into the bay, threatening wildlife, commercial and recreational fishers, tourism, and human health. A Nevada family got the chance to meet the Las Vegas firefighters who helped save their newborn. The baby girl named Grace was born at home back in June and went into cardiac arrest. A team of firefighters who respond to the 911 call performed CPR and a list of other procedures to help save the baby. Luckily, they were able to bring baby Grace's heart rate up. On Thursday, the firefighters involved were each giving a service commendation. The time is now 6:18. Still to come, a potential hurt to the U.S. economy avoid. The details up ahead. And now it is time for Sunrise birthdays. Happy birthday to Camden. Happy 10th birthday to our favorite grandson, Camden. Have a great day. Love you, me, Mom Mercy, and Papa Adam.
Aw, happy birthday, Camden. And also happy birthday to Kalia. Happy birthday, Princess. We love you so much, and we're wishing you a wonderful day today from your brothers, Mom and Dad.
And happy birthday, Chandra. Happy birthday to my loving wives. Happy birthday, beautiful. I love you, and may God bless you with many more. Love you, babe. Your husband, Dwayne.
Happy birthday, Chandra. And also happy birthday to David. Happy birthday to our favorite guy. Love Carissa, Carter, and Aaliyah.
And perhaps his birthday wish is that he had Jessie Girl singer, songwriter, and actor Rick Springfield is 75 today.
Happy birthday, Rick Springfield.
Happy birthday.
And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com, click on the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
Now the time on your morning is 6:19. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. If you're tuning in with me this morning and you're thinking Parker's just going to talk about heat again, well, no, it's actually not going to be a hot day today. We're done with heat and we got rain. In fact, we got rain as early as this morning. Zooming in on where all the heavy stuff is, we actually got two heavy, strongish thunderstorms out there this morning. Not really packing that much in terms of hail, but they are definitely packing a lot of lightning. So please be careful. Definitely get indoors if you see these thunderstorms heading your way. This one's coming towards Point Comfort here in the probably next 5-10 minutes. It can start raining, but the heaviest stuff probably about 20 minutes. But we have another one. If you zoom northeast, you can see this one's still in Matagorda County, heading west of Bay City, actually raining a little bit in Bay City as well. So lots of rain out there this morning. But looking at yesterday's weather, because I'm sure you thought I'm just going to talk about heat again. No. I want to talk about heat for a second. Talking about yesterday's heat. I got up to 102, actually got up to 103 degrees if you add a degree on that because of Urban Heat Island. Quite a warm day yesterday, but heated the seas yesterday. What did they get to? 118 degrees along Matagorda Bay, and here in Victoria, 116. That was a little bit hot, I would say so, but good news is, here comes the good news. We are dropping in temperatures because the rain is coming away, and that's going to make it not too bad of a day to get down to the coast today. Just make sure to watch out for any storms out there if you're going down the water. Don't want to get struck by lightning, but water, that's still warm out there with your temperatures at 92 degrees expected this afternoon. But looking at the rest of the tropics, I am still watching this tropical wave that's currently over Cuba. That might slowly continue moving west-northwest into maybe the Gulf over the next week. I'm definitely going to keep my eyes peeled on that, but I'm also going to watch this over the next 2 to 3 weeks for maybe also tropical development. But we're going to take a look at that and more later on Sunrise.
And now for today's question of today. Today is Cheap Flight Day, so we ask you, what is your favorite place to travel to? Like us on Facebook, Crossroads Today. Post your guess to today's question of the day. We'll read your guess live coming up. We will have the answer later on Sunrise. The U.S. economy appears to be escaping a potential major blow. The Canadian Labor Minister says Canadian freight trains are getting back on schedule after a labor dispute largely paralyzed them Thursday. The Teamsters are preparing for aberration with the Canadian's largest rail companies, CPKC and CN. About 30% of freights they carry across the U.S.-Canadian border. Truck capacities can't make up for that kind of supply chain hit. Analysts say even drinking water depends on trains because the treatment plants need chlorine they transport. A volcano erupted in Iceland, spewing lava fountains into the air. The volcano located in southwestern Iceland is no stranger to eruption. This eruption is the sixth outbreak since December of last year. The eruption extended about 2.5 miles, but luckily the lava flowed in the opposite direction of a nearby fishing town. The town, Grindavik, is home to nearly 4,000 people, but they evacuated back in November. Iceland, which is roughly the size of the U.S. state of Kentucky, is home to more than 30 active volcanoes. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. Several arrests have been connected to the deadliest human smuggling case in U.S. history. For today's question of the day, today is Cheap Flight Day. So we ask you, what is your favorite place to travel to?
Cheap Flight Day. Definitely take advantage of that if flights are cheap, but...
Yes, I wish they were always cheap.
Right, definitely. Well, do we have any guesses this morning?
Yes,
or not
we
guesses?
have Arlo. Arlo said Round Top, Texas.
Orla wants to go to Round Top.
Yes, even though
Interesting.
I never heard of that before.
I know. I still have to go figure out where that. I haven't checked out where that is
Yeah, I'm
yet.
going to have to Google that.
Yeah, I bet you it's like probably a small town somewhere, but probably a pretty place.
Yeah, Parker, what about you? Would you like to travel to?
I would probably go to, like I said, I think Hawaii is probably my place to go, but there are also places in the mountains I would love to go as well.
Oh, yeah.
Very pretty scenery up there, but where would you like to go?
Paris or California?
Paris?
Yeah.
Oh, Paris is a good place. In California.
I love
What's over there in California you want to see?
I don't know, though. I just want to go.
It is really pretty over there.
Yeah,
They
it's
got the
really
beaches.
pretty.
It's very pretty over there in California, but very cool guesses. Well, thank y'all for taking part in today's question today. We'd love to hear where y'all would like to travel. And of course, we got rain out there this morning, and I'm sure y'all want to know where that is right now. We're taking a live look here in Victoria. We're actually looking east-southeast towards where that thunderstorm is. And every once in a while, you're going to see lightning flash here. I can get it to flash here in just a second. Come on, lightning, flash for me right now. There we go. There's a couple out there right now, but it's another warm, humid morning if you're not seeing that rain, sitting at 80 degrees here in Victoria, dew point 2 degrees off. See, it's flashing now as soon as I bring up the computer. But looking at that radar this morning, you can see it. I can prove it. There's lots of rain out there this morning. Good news is no severe weather is expected out there today, because looking at where all of it is, one big storm coming up just west of Palacios, entering northern Lavaca Bay, coming towards Port Lavaca here in the next, I'd say, 20 minutes or so, and there's another one north near Bay City heading west as well. All those storms are moving really slow, though, so I'm thinking if it comes through Victoria, probably going to be around maybe a little bit before 9 a.m. I'm thinking today. So in Port Lavaca today, I'm thinking about 92 this afternoon with lots of cloud cover today, maybe also mostly cloudy, but thunderstorms will be possible for all of us today throughout the day, spotty likely though. 96 degrees I'm thinking in Victoria today, and a little bit warmer in Cuero, about 97. But the good news is if you like the rain today, we've got lots more coming away over the next week.
On Thursday, U.S. authorities announced arrests linked with the deadliest case of human smuggling in U.S. history. At a news conference in San Antonio, the U.S. Attorney Office said 7 people were arrested by police in Guatemala. In 2022, 64 migrants were found in the back of a tractor-trailer in San Antonio. The tractor-trailer lacked air condition. 53 of the migrants inside the trailer eventually died, including children. Among those arrested in Roman Mirando, the alleged ringleader, whose extradition has been requested by U.S. authorities. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell will deliver remarks on the economy in Wyoming. Powell's keynote address will be made during an annual summit held outside Jackson Hole. His remarks come as new data sparks some fears that the economy could soon enter a recession. Last month, the U.S. unemployment rate jumped to 4.3%, the highest level since October 2021. And in July, employers hired just 114,000 new workers, the second lowest month gain since December 2020. The time is 6:29, still ahead. The Democratic National Convention wrapped up last night with Kamala Harris accepting a presidential nomination. Stay with us, another half hour of 25 News Now, Sunrise up next.